Hello, this is your friendly Amazon associate, and as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Well, today I wanted to talk about importing, annotating, and re-exporting documents. So in particular, if you're working with someone and sending files back and forth. Now, two important things. First of all, the videos that I make are better viewed in full screen if you're on your laptop and in landscape mode if you're on your phone. So you just turn your iPhone to one side or your smartphone to one side. Second, this video is paired with an audio cast that I've done on Buzzsprout and is not the same episode, but it's related and actually gives a lot more information in some sense because you have more time in the audio context. So in the episode description, I will give the link to that audio. So last time we were in notebooks for most of the time that we were together, and we went in detail over the toolbar, and we saw how to send documents. So you go up the top, and that gives you the top toolbar, and you see the square with the little arrow coming out the top. That is the share icon. And it gives you the option of sharing current page or sharing entire notebook. So let's just do share current page. And then down the bottom, it gives you four options. Now, petretkoff@gmail.com is the email associated with my Amazon account. So we can do quick send to petretkoff@gmail.com, share via email to whatever email we want, convert to text and quick send to Petretkoff, and convert to text and email. So to get both the text file and the PDF file in an email with links to both, you use the third option, convert to text and quick send to Petretkoff. Okay, so you have a lot of options in notebooks. So that's all I want to say about notebooks today. I want to now focus on documents not in notebooks, but documents in the library. Okay, so I'm in the library, and you'll notice there are things that don't look like books. Okay, now that's because they're documents. As it happens, they have their origin in both PDF and text documents. Now, I told you last time that I have recently written two fiction novels under my pen name Diana Dirkby, and both of them are being made into screenplays. Now, for that reason, I am working with the screenwriter who writes a little bit of the screenplay, sends over to me what she's done, asks for my comments, then I comment, she incorporates the comments, and then she resumes her work on the screenplay. And when she thinks she's got enough more, she sends it over. Okay. So she is sending me the screenplay file as a text file. Now, what I've been doing up to now, up to using the Kindle Scribe, is I've simply been converting the text file to PDF and then marking up the PDF, annotating the PDF on my MacBook, and sending her back the marked up PDF file. And she hasn't complained. She hasn't complained yet. So, but I do want to see what happens if I work instead with the text file. So you can ignore these last 4 documents. I may discuss them later, but wherever you see screenplay, that's got to do with my collaboration with the screenwriter. Now, the copy, the file with what looks like a page in the upper left is the text file sent to Kindle. The logo in the upper left on the second from the left is the PDF sent to the Kindle Scribe. So one file is just the text file sent. The other file is I convert the text to PDF and I send that. Now, it turns out that the annotating experience is quite different. Now, this brings me to 2 important things. First of all, the videos that I'm making, they are much clearer if you watch them in full screen or in landscape mode, depending on what device you're using. Now, please bear in mind that I'm a relative beginner on YouTube, and the quality of the videos will improve, but I very much want to make them, and I hope you'll have the patience to work through them, because I think there's a lot of valuable information in that. Okay, so I think the one that's easiest to understand is the PDF experience, okay? So for that, you just correct using the pen, the premium pen, and you see that the comments stay where they are, as you expect in a PDF file. So this is when I exported it and I went to that same page, you can see that the remarks are still there. Okay. So let's close the PDF file for a while. Now I'm going to look at the same thing with the text file. Open it up. Okay. And it's the same corrections, okay, as on the PDF file. So this name is corrected, and I have a comment here about one more day. I want it written more than one day. And I underline here because Kristen is not the name, it's Kirsten. So where did these comments go? Well, the place of the comments is represented by the things that look like little pages, okay? And I decided when I was doing this, after realizing that the text was like an ebook text, and it wasn't straightforward to put things exactly where I wanted them, I opened the margin. So this is up here on the upper right. I opened up the margin, and then I was much more comfortable because I was writing in the margin about exactly what I want written there. So every time there's a little page, okay, that corresponds to me putting in the margin the comment that I want. Okay. I could have put it in the text, but that's something more complicated, and I didn't see any reason to when you have this nice margin with plenty of room. Okay. So when I exported that, I was at first a little worried because I saw the underlining, okay, and I saw my little notes here, but I didn't see anything else, and I mainly wrote in the margin is something I've noted here just so I remember to tell you. Now, what had happened was the comments all went to the back of the document. So this is marked Kindle. I didn't put that there. So what Kindle does is put notes at the end of the document. Now, I'm not saying that it only does this for text files, but it's doing it for a certain type of format. And I go into what it means in the audio podcast that I've made. I talk about sticky notes, reflowable text, and all that stuff there. I just wanted to show you in practice what happens, okay? So this is my writing exactly as it looks. It's just that it's all at the end, and she's being told what page, she only has to go back into the manuscript to see where these little pages are that look like notes, okay? And she'll easily find the correction, the thing I want corrected, because actually I've underlined each one, so it'll be very easy for her. Okay. Now, as I say, in the audio broadcast that I've done, whose coordinates will be in the episode description, I give a lot more detail about types of files and the differences when you annotate them. But that's the basic difference between the PDF and the text file. The PDF file, your corrections stay as is, whereas in the text file, their place gets marked, but they're sent to the end of the document. Okay. So I've asked her. I sent her both types, and I've asked her which she prefers. I've yet to hear back from her. But there are quite a number of types of files that you can send to a Kindle, and I'm not exploring that today. I'm just exploring the PDF versus the text. Now, I haven't said anything about how I send these, so let's open one up, okay? You go up the top, and you, just like in notebooks, you get this toolbar, and the share icon is the same. It's the square with the arrow coming up the top. And the two options are quick send to Pete Redkoff or share to someone else via email. And the quick send, it'll be a PDF file, in essence. Except, as I said, the important difference is the marked up, the document that started life as a text file will have the markups at the end with little place markers to mark where they should go, whereas the PDF file, the annotations that you make, they stay in place. So I've pretty much covered what I wanted to do today. I hope it's of help to some people, because I found I found this quite confusing at first. So here I have on my iPad the file, the exported file that started life as a text file. So you can see it on the computer. Well, on the iPad, I should say. I suspect she's going to prefer this to leafing through the pages and searching for my comments on the PDF. I'm waiting to see what she says, but that's what I think. Okay, so so what are these other documents? Well, this is me messing around with sending web pages to my Kindle Scribe. I still have some areas of confusion, so I'm not going to do a podcast on that this week. But you do need to use Chrome and get the Send to Kindle extension for Chrome. Okay, now I have one web page which is almost all words, and if I open that up, it's pretty good, okay, and it keeps the links too, the URLs, okay. So I was happy with that. Okay. I'm trying to get out of this file. Sorry about having to wait. There we go. Sorry about that. It took me a while to get out of that file. Now, the what is unclear to me as yet, and some of you will know immediately, is it does have trouble with some formats. Okay. And for all that, in particular involving photos. Okay. Now, another thing that's happening with my books is a professional is revamping my webpage, and they're using WordPress with Elementor. Okay, and they sent me a link to the page, and so what I did was I exported the page to PDF, okay, and sent it to my Kindle, and when it got there, except that it was in black and white and not colored, if you know how Elementor works, it kind of divides the web page up into little boxes, and you can work on those boxes separately. And so what the PDF did was simply to separate the boxes, which was great because then I was able to put all my comments all over it, except I was disappointed, of course. And then I realized I was silly. Of course, the Kindle Scribe doesn't have color. So, but when I sent it out again, exported it by emailing myself, the colors were back and my comments were still there. So it's definitely possible to work with pictures, photos, and so on. I suspect that I the iPhone does funny things to photos, and I think this is probably why I've been having difficulty with my own photos, but it can work. Okay. It can work. It preserves the links and enables you to back up at least a page at a time. So what about your clippings? Okay, so I was a little bit mystified by this, so I had to look it up, and let me read out what I say on the audio version of today's session. Your clippings refers to a file named myclippings.txt that stores all your highlights, notes, and bookmarks made within books on the device. It acts as a log of your annotations, providing a human-readable list of where and when you made them. This file can be accessed and managed on your Kindle or transferred to a computer for further use. Key aspects of your clippings on a Kindle Scribe. It contains a record of all highlights, notes, and bookmarks you've made while reading on your Kindle Scribe. File location, well, there's a folder, okay, and you can access it directly, and it's functional because it serves as a log. Okay, so that's kind of what I said in my audio. Let's have a look. Since we do have video, let's have a look at how it looks like on video. It gives the name of the file, the place of the highlight, and it says when it was added to the second, or to the almost to the second, and then it just goes through. So here you see where there are some spelling mistakes. Well, Fred was the wrong name for someone, and she spelled siblings as iblings, and Corny as Connie. One more day I want to change, etc. Okay, and so it gives you a summary, if you like, an overlook of the work that you've been doing on your Kindle Scribe. So I'm very excited about the fact that one can do this PDF and text file annotations, and the Kindle Scribe does a really good job of making that worthwhile. And, I hope later on in later sessions to give you some information about other types of files. So after a discussion of websites, what I'd like to do is to talk about working with the app Scrivener, not to be confused with the fountain pen Scrivener, because a lot of authors use it. And I want to understand how it can work with the Kindle Scribe better. Okay, so this is all. Thank you very, very much for listening and watching. I do hope that you'll come back, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.